button on your mic, Deb, if you didn't get the memo. Oh, sure. Okay. It'll start flashing green and that works, I guess.
Start it, Kevin.
I don't even know the spot.
Kind of weird. You only have short.
All right, let's get this show on the road. All right, I just want to thank you all for coming as we try to figure out what we're going to do with our lovely Clementa. We'll start with introductions. I'm Sam Solars. I am the mayor of Montrose. We'll start down at the end there with Kevin.
Kevin Triplett, Fire Chief for City of Montrose.
Just,
Coco Henry, Public Works, Street Department.
Spencer Johnson with the engineering staff for the City of Montrose.
Jessica Bonniwell, City Administrator for Montrose.
Michelle Otto, City Council.
David Paradise, City Council.
Toby Nelson, City Council.
Kirby Moyna, District 5, Wright County Commissioner.
Oh, just push and release.
Use Kirby's.
You're good. What it was.
There we go.
Debbie Euchre, Marysville Township Clerk.
Jill Belland, Marysville Supervisor.
Joe Hickman, Marysville Supervisor.
Andrew Hirsch, Marysville Supervisor.
Leanne LaFave, Deputy Clerk Treasurer for Marysville.
Okay, so I think the way to start this off is kind of get your feedback on how we're, I guess, at this position, what your guys' concerns are, and kind of why you guys wanted to close off Clementa. Then we can kind of go from there.
So you want to know why we're going to close it off?
Yeah, I think we.
Long story in a nutshell. This has been many, many years of the city pushing so much traffic down that road that the road can't handle it. Mm-hmm. And the city for years doesn't want to take any responsibility for the traffic. So it basically pushed us into a corner that financially, that's what we have to do.
There's a variety of other reasons too, and we've pondered it. I've been on the township for 5 years, and every meeting it's talked about. And we've had complaints, and you guys get the complaints too. You go on Facebook, you don't have to look very far to get a bad complaint about it. I think the straw that broke the camel's back was when all of the construction traffic, when you guys were working on 12, came through Clementa. And that was shortly after we put gravel down and dust control, and 2 days later, everything was gone. So we put a lot of energy and time and money into it, and it was just gone. So we didn't have, we've talked to the county, we've talked to Virgil when he was there, we've talked to a lot of people about it. What can we do? What can be done? We did the speed limit thing. That seemed to not help. Other than, like year to date, January to August, we've got approximate, and it's very factual to approximate, based upon independent contractors' numbers on what they would charge. That's not even including our labor. We're at $20,208.80. So that's for 1 mile. We've got 43.6 miles. Our road and bridge fund's about $350,000. So it equals about $7,700 per mile. We're spending the equivalent of three, possibly 4 miles just to maintain one for 5 residents, ultimately. 5 residents, mom and dad drive, that's 10 vehicles a day that assumingly would be driving down that road. So it's kind of the mathematics and the question of 2 years ago we had a counter on it. We were between 500 to 600 vehicles in a single day on a counter. So that was prior to new homes, traffic, detours and stuff like that. So it's near and dear to our heart, because it wasn't like we just woke up one day and dreamt this, like, yeah, let's close that thing and make everybody else's life hell. So, but that's kind of the long extended,
The nuts and bolts of it all.
yeah.
Okay. What is Wright County's, go ahead.
If I can get this to work, otherwise I can just talk.
Just talk loud, that's fine.
So the other thing that we had this summer was a lot of close calls when we're maintaining the road and safety of our road staff. When you have residents driving down the road and they can't see a road grader with a flashing strobe on top and they're running into the ditch, that's a safety concern. Those residents are not the 5 residents that live on that road. Now, whether they live in the city of Montrose or they live somewhere else, I'm not sure. I don't know that that could be something, I suppose, that Wright County could probably pull records and find out from the accidents that have happened, because tow trucks had to come pull them out of the ditch. But we've had many close calls, and the concern is safety. Safety of the road maintenance staff, and they're out there maintaining it, trying to stop traffic, and people are driving around them. That's an issue. I know that when the developments were done, there's one road in that the city of Montrose did, and one road out of the development. Why was that done that way?
Wish I could answer that for you. That was before a lot of our time. You know, has anybody got any backstory on that?
Because that's a question I get all the time when I get complaints, and I get complaints from the city of Montrose residents. We get them on our voicemail, we get them yelling at us, just like we get complaints from our township too.
I know that the one road outside of Forest Creek, that is still owned by a landowner, so city doesn't own any of that as far as getting another road out of there. But as far as previous why it was done that way, yeah, I don't really have an answer to that.
There's an emergency access road through that whole property?
Yep.
Whose is that? Is that an agreement with Gary Bremer, who owns the property, or how did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, as Kevin, you and I have talked about that, and I mean, it's really not even really an emergency access. I mean, you couldn't get a fire truck down there. No. Yeah.
Well, that's how it's stated on the sign, and that's how
Yep.
it's stated on aerials.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's an agreement with Brummer or not, but I mean, it's gated and locked, so I mean, there's no way to get through there.
So it's really not an emergency access road
Correct.
anyways.
I mean, it's at this point, it's just a walking path.
Is that on the end of Breckenridge?
Yep.
How far is that gate from County Road 12?
Three-quarters of a mile.
I was gonna say.
And Gary owns the land between that gate and County Road 12?
Not all of it.
Between the gate and Aspen,
Yeah.
Aspen Lane.
So how far is that?
Quarter of a mile?
Just over, something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to purchase that property from him? To complete a road through there? I mean, if I lived in that development, I would sooner go out on blacktop than down the gravel road out to Clementa. That, I think, would answer a lot of problems.
Do you know if that's,
And everything Gary's got is for sale, and I don't know that.
Problem is you gotta have money.
Well, yeah, but we gotta have money to maintain these roads too.
We got roads to maintain as well. I mean, Clementa project, I mean, our Clementa project out there is 1.5 right now.
What's that?
1.5 million for our Clementa project out there. So we understand, we get it. You know, we just finished off the downtown streets, which were, 12 million that we had to pay? So, yeah, we understand it.
Yeah, but when this stuff was built in 2006, and then the housing crash happened, and they all went bankrupt, and the lots went up for $5,000, and we built that Clementa, not to the spec of any county road or even a decent town road, just so the developers could run that vein all the way up to the front of my farm. And now you have a structure that these houses are using it since 2020. They've added the 80 houses back in 80 Circle back there now. And you've added all the houses on the other side of Clementa. and all that traffic comes out, instead of turning left and going back to 12 and having to go the other way, they want to turn right and go that half mile to the north. So people made their money. I understand it's all before you guys, but now the people that want to use the road are going to have to pay for the road. That's the understanding that we need the city to come to. That I understand it's $1.5 million to do to Clementa from where it's 40 turned down back to Highway 12. But those houses should have had to pay to do a road either going towards County Road 12 for the development to the east, coming across all the way over towards the cemetery, or they should have done it to the north. So the 5 residents that live on the road and the few farmers that come down that road to maintain their fields are paying $30,000 a year to maintain a road for 500-600 houses that live back on that road. So somebody's got to bear the weight, and it's not going to be the 5 residents. It shouldn't be the township. So you guys have to plan one way or the other. Either you go back to the development or you take over that north part of the road. How much would be an engineered assessment to do it from the rest of the way, all the way to 107 up to the specs that they need? Because you can't put blacktop on that road. That road is not up to spec. The frost boils in that road in the spring would take your tar and just beat it off and it would end up in the ditch. So that's not an option, just a tar. I can guarantee that.
Yep.
Yeah, so we looked at, I mean, without looking at any potential soil corrections, I mean, we're looking at $750,000. I mean, those are rough ballpark numbers.
And I'm going to tell you right now, the way they built that road through the swamp where the creek goes through, there's going to be soil correction. They're going to have to put slide shoring in. They're going to have to dig that out and put a good sand bottom in it to good grade. So whatever that excavation is going to cost, it's going to cost quite a bit. And even I think on the other side of the hill, past the old abandoned farm there, past Frisbee's, I think even that low past Joe's there, that's probably going to have to get soil corrected too.
What's Wright County think of all this?
As far as,
I mean, you guys have basically Clementa south of 12. Why can't we do this section of Clementa between 12 and 107?
You mean to create it as a county road or a CASA road?
Yes. I mean, bottom line is we've got a township and a town here that, I mean, we're struggling just to take care of the roads we currently have. And
So if we go back in time, when Virgil Hawkins was at the county yet, he had a meeting, and it was right after they put in their special sales tax for highway use. They were looking for purposes to use that money where it improved stuff in your neighborhood type of deal. And we brought that up to them. We actually had a meeting with them about it. And they turned around and took all the money they made and took it up to Otsego and St. Michael and wherever. Never did anything around here with it. And now Virgil isn't there. And if you ask somebody new, they don't know anything about it. But that was the idea behind them passing that sales tax, was for exactly something like Clementa. Not to build new housing developments with new roads. And that's what the county's doing. So that goes back to when I first started getting involved and trying to figure out how to change it. And that's been, I don't even know how long time ago.
I mean, in a perfect world, I mean, it should be a Wright County road.
It should have been, County Road 110 should have come all the way through.
Yep.
On the reverse side of it, when the city started building houses, they redid the tracks. They should have made them put a roundabout or a stoplight in on Highway 12 by George Brummer's as part of that industrial development. They're gonna do it on Delano by what I would call the Zabel farm, where Tuffy's is. They're supposed to be doing it there. Why wouldn't they have done it here? The only response I've got anybody from the state is it's too expensive and there's no accidents there to warrant it. Well, there's no accidents there because nobody's using it.
Right.
So, but how do you put pressure on the county and or the state?
Yeah.
That's a Kirby question.
Well, as far as Highway 12 goes, there is a future roundabout planned in that location. It's just when the state comes through and does it. I think that's in their 10 to 15-year plan, which, as we know how the state does things, that's probably 20. But
30.
Yeah. Yes,
We'll all be dead.
Exactly. As far as Clementa goes, I just had a conversation in a meeting about this morning as well with administration and the highway department. And at this point, because County Road 12 is a mile in one direction and County Road 9 is a mile in the other direction, the county has no regional need to make this a county road, not to mention the purchasing of the right-of-way and bringing it up to county road, state aid highway standards is gonna be a lot more than just paving over it and making it a road right now that's 26 feet, which doesn't match up with the rest of Clementa that's 38, I want to say, the rest of the way. However, in conversation, we had talked about that if there can be some sort of payment agreement, or somebody wants to take the lead, the county can put it on our bid specs for next year to get a better price, because the county gets better prices because we bid so many more miles of road than any town or township would do. So if you can submit specs and a plan for an alternate bidding, that the county can put that on their bid sheet for 2026, 2027, whatever it needs to be, to come to those conclusions, and then it would be tarred. But again, it wouldn't be an increase of a county road, just because like I said, the right-of-way, and yes, there's wetland, and there's a crossing over a wetland, so there would need to be other DNR involvement and probably a bridge put over that the county doesn't have any interest in that at this point to do that. There is also an option for local road improvement project, the LRIP. I know the city had applied in the past, but it is more tantalizing if you have smaller government units like a township. If they were to apply for LRIP, you're more likely to get funding for something like that than a city or a county, which would be basically last on the priority list. But like I said, because County Road 12 and County Road 9 are so close, there's no need for that. And based on the traffic studies that were taken, it's not a regional road that people are using. They're not cutting through from Carver County or Hollywood Township. It's 90% of the traffic is city traffic. That is what the engineer estimates are.
Can I ask a question? So I'm driving, let's say I'm driving a Domino's semi, and it's 53 feet long. Do I want to come out to 107, I gotta get to 107 north. Do I want to come out on 9 through Waverly? That doesn't seem attractive to me. Or do I want to go to a stoplight in Montrose, which that's a small intersection for a 53-foot trailer with a turning lane. I've seen people where you couldn't turn a semi with 53 foot because somebody had crowded the turning lane. So what's your next solution? You drive down a gravel road and 2 miles, bingo, you're on 107. You've got and Waverly, you've got what, 2 stoplights, a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit on a shrunk down road with a walking path next to it.
For what?
Just to navigate. And the reason I bring up Domino's.
Clementa is 30 miles an hour the entire way until you hit gravel road.
When I was on Clementa, the Domino's truck took Clementa, was where I was going with this, with the observation of why is Domino's on a 53-foot Domino's delivery semi on Clementa?
Because GPS told them it's faster.
I got it. So we're back to you say, well, 90% of it is city. But you're still getting all of that traffic on the cut across, even if it's 100 vehicles a day that use it. That's still 100 more vehicles than should be on that road if Wright County doesn't determine it a through road. So why is that 100 vehicles using that? We can go back and put our counter out and we can find out, like, which vehicle, are you coming out of a development? Or are you just literally, we can have somebody sit there and just with a clicker, did they come from Highway 12? Did they come from 107 or 110 South? Or did they come out of a development? And in a day of sitting there, you'd be able to tell how many vehicles are coming out of the city. I'm not being facetious here. I'm just saying, I think there's more traffic on that road than you think comes from out of city of Montrose and out of Marysville
I'm
Township.
just
so.
passing the information of the highway engineers that was given to me on all of that.
So your solution right now, Kirby, is to apply for the grants. So you guys probably reapplying for the grant again on Clementa. You got the walking path, but we don't have the road, right? And they're only fronting 50% of the money for the walking path right now? Yep. So I mean, I don't know if you wanna throw good money after bad, but I just don't think that that's a viable option right now. But if the township, you're saying that smaller entity, if you guys go and apply for the grant, on top of applying with them on it, there might be a chance that we'll get some of it on those grants to redo the road, and if we're putting in the bid process with the county, maybe we find a solution that gets somewhat close to a number that you guys can work into your budgets to figure out using the grant money, so that, you know, as a township, we're not fronting a lot of money if we can get most of the grant money, and then the city can maybe use their money if you guys can get the same grant. I mean, if we're, got two entities applying for the same road,
Right.
our chances probably will go up.
And we did do a joint application 23
But
for the joint application.
I think Kirby's saying that you guys should file separately, not just jointly, but also separately for the money.
It was
too.
our own entity, their own entity, if we did it
Okay.
current.
That is possible, though. You can submit separate applications. We'd have to talk about how that would look. But you can submit separate LRIP applications. City could submit and township could submit.
Some money's better than no money.
When you talk about the county not interested in that road because it's so close, start at County Road 6, how many county roads you got coming out to 107 that are within a mile and a half of each other? So why would you not even consider Clementa?
That's what I was told, on top of that, if the county does this, it's also setting a precedent that every township in the county, I can almost guarantee, would have 3 or 4 roads that they would say, hey, this makes sense for the county, which it might. It might make sense for the township, for a city, for the county to take over a road. But if the county gets in the business of taking over 3 or 4 gravel roads in every single township, pretty soon it's just an entire chain of county roads that now has to get paid. And I would be interested to see what roads in developments the county's paying for, because if you looked at all of the projects that happened in District 5 alone this year, we had the worst construction year in District 5 this year. I don't think anybody could argue that fact. And every one of those county roads that was paved, 12, 8, 6, every single one was paid for with those lost funds. So
Bridges on 5, bridges on 8.
yeah, and that's a large majority is paid from those lost funds, the road specifically are. So, but I mean, if there is something that the county is using these funds in a way that, which the county board has to approve, and there was no private development roads that were on any of those approvals that we had, I would be more than willing to go back and look at any one of those that was approved in the past at that, and definitely figure out who made the approvals for those. But that's the loss funding, which is the local option sales tax. That half-cent sales tax goes to pay for road improvements, which is money that is not levied in the county budget. So before the local option sales tax or the loss fund was established in the county was only budgeting for maybe $200,000 a year in road improvements. That's not going to get you very far, even 10, 12 years ago. That's not getting you anywhere. And the only money that they were using was turnback money from the state on CASA roads. So now the county's budget, just from this local option sales tax, that it does not go on the levy, there's no levy impact, is over $10 million plus, $60 million that is used, depending on the year, for road improvements. But that being said, I understand that there is 6, there's County Road 7, 8, 9, 12, there's all of these roads in between. But when there's not that regional connection, that County Road 9 is very easy to leave Waverly out of and get into Buffalo. You get right on 35 and go up. County Road 12, there's Highway 25, County Road 14, that this road does only get you to 107. So if this had been planned out 30 or 40 years ago, sure, that would have made perfect sense. But there's also not a need for the county to take the road over. And I understand that that's the easy solution that everybody is kind of looking for to happen, that the county comes in and takes it over, but it's just not in the cards. And I don't think that there would ever be a chance that we get 3 votes on the county board to approve taking it over, buying all of the right-of-way, which means buying land from the property owners, and the bridge over the water. I don't think that's gonna pass unless there's a need for the county to have it, and there just isn't. But depending on soil corrections, the rough estimate that the highway engineer had given me was between $275,000 and $350,000, depending on soil corrections, to pave that with 6 inches of bituminous, getting rid of the gravel and just paving it over. But that's keeping at current standards, which is, like I said, it's only 26 feet, which is not a very large paved road, especially compared to the rest of Clementa, which is, I think it's 38. It's over 30 for sure, but that's just kind of where things are sitting at. And this has been a conversation not just with myself and Highway, but there's been another commissioner involved in this, and there's not interest to have the road taken over.
Do you guys proportion the money out of that fund to the areas where sales tax raised? Do you guys spend X on the south side, X up on the northeast side?
No, it all just depends on what roads.
According to it.
It just depends on what roads need to be done. Every year or two, they go out and they do their videotaping of the roads and check to see which ones need to be done or what needs to be done to which ones. And it doesn't matter which area of the county brings in more money in the local option sales tax, because to be very frank about it, most of that money would come out of the Albertville, St. Michael, Monticello area, and they had very little county road projects this year, whereas, we had all of them in the southern half of the county.
So when you're sitting at the table with the 5 other commissioners and you're asking for $10 million for that little stretch of road, out of a $60 million budget, it's 1 against 4, more or less.
Not to mention, like I had already said, there's roads 3 or 4 easily in every single township that we would have this same discussion. I'm sure that if you guys looked, there's probably another 2 roads that you could find in Marysville Township, and another 2 or 3, 4 roads in Woodland or Franklin that we could easily find to say, hey, the county should take this over because people cut through it to get from here to here. And if the county gets in the business of doing that, then we've got, another 500 miles of tarred road.
The biggest question I have is, you guys rehab that whole county ditch, and the water that we're jumping 5 different times is the same county ditch that zigzags back and forth?
Nope. So we actually just checked today, the one that goes under Clementa on the north side in the gravel is not a county ditch, it's not a judicial ditch, it's a private, just water flow from under there. So I would assume it's a township culvert.
How does that end before it gets to Crow?
I don't know, but it's not on any of the ditch mapping. We just looked at it this morning. The ditch does not go that direction, it goes the other way. So it doesn't cross under Clementa under the gravel. That is just all of that water over there.
Are you talking about the ditch that's a quarter mile to the south of 107?
Yes.
That's my ditch.
Yeah, it's not.
And it goes to the Crow by going through mine and going to the DNR ditch on the west part of my property. That goes under 107. That's how it gets to the Crow.
That's just under Clementa is not the county ditch, it's the DNR.
No, it's
right?
DNR.
They just have the wetland on that one side.
On the west side
Yeah.
is DNR.
Okay.
So the county ditch stops somewhere behind?
It goes back behind, probably behind your property, out that way, I would imagine. I'd have to look at the map again.
Is there county help for them zigzagging over that or straightening that out or not? I mean, we're jumping through technically the county ditch. Not at that point, but the other 4 spots prior to that.
I don't think there's any crossing on Clementa with the county ditch.
Yeah, it goes underneath on the north side of the railroad tracks.
Oh, yes, you're right, it does,
Then
yep.
it comes back through the house development, then cuts right across before the 4-way crossing, and goes into Pat Sloman's.
Yep.
Then it comes back underneath where it wasn't packed very good, and it goes back in to the east, just before the hill and before the house development there, and then it goes back.
There's no changing of the ditch flow. That would have to go through the DNR, and I can almost guarantee that if that was proposed, they would absolutely just laugh you out of the room, so.
So, I mean, is there any special grants that we can apply because of that? Like through the DNR or the NRCS?
I don't think so.
Because I know that you guys, I mean, certain farmers paid for assessments for that to be updated in the last year to drain that and get that all cleaned out. So you don't think there's any monies there?
There's money the DNR has for a DNR geomorphic grant that you can apply for. Townships have applied for it in Wright County and gotten it.
Okay.
But that is to repair a culvert that has a water flow through it,
Okay.
but not to change it.
If you were gonna change the ditch structure and change the way that it would go and never go under Clementa and just go right down the side of it, there would have to be, ditch abandonment, which can happen. You can petition to have a ditch abandoned, but there needs to be, a valid reason why, and then that water has to drain somewhere else. So the properties in the city, they can say those drain to the stormwater. But the properties that aren't in the city, they would have to find another location where they're draining and not into the county ditch.
County ditch ends and it's when it's Les Thorson's property. From there on through, it's a natural flow ditch. Correct.
Kirby, the 275,000 to 300,000 depends.
350.
Or 350, depending on soil corrections. Blacktop Road is Montrose section, correct?
That would be the gravel section of the road because it's just under 3/4 of a mile.
But nothing for Montrose. Is it the whole thing?
That is just where the city road ends to 107. The rough estimate using the county's bidding to get a lower cost, because like I said, the county does so much more, and they get lower costs because they bid so much more.
That's strictly reclaiming the gravel, getting it down, and then putting down 6 inches, I think you said, of bituminous, correct?
Yep. And then, like I said, that's the rough estimate and not including any soil corrections, or if you wanted to put in, any kind of gutters or anything like that, that is just to reclaim it all and tar it all, so.
I just want a clarification.
Does Montrose have a city plan in the works, or have they ever?
As far as,
Housing, building, growing? Yeah.
yeah, we have one.
And what does that look like? I mean, is it Montrose is here and then we just build 3 miles away from town and then we just worry about having no streets?
No, we've,
Access? I
no.
mean, you look at a topography of these developments, it makes absolutely zero sense.
I mean, there's,
It looks like someone got money in their pocket and, to approve this, and they left town with it.
I mean, there's platted areas between, the Forest Creek development and town here. I mean, there's platted developments out there. There's, LGI's building currently out there. We had another developer kind of come in and trying to connect the Forest Creek area to town. So, I mean, we've got movement. The big problem is that wastewater's at capacity and we really can't take on a whole lot of other development at this point.
So what's barring the city from passing a moratorium on any building that does not touch the contiguous city of Montrose? So you can't sectionally way away from the city and just build a development out in the middle of nowhere.
I-
Through Corcoran, I mean, that's the same case there.
I would say that definitely something I saw when I moved out here 5 years ago. And it's something that we've looked at as strategically what's our next build.
Yeah.
And it's to fill in these gaps. So we've been looking at that spot by Forest Creek to get a second access out on, through Aspen into 12. Now, the problem there is that it's been, 3 years now, this developer's had this land?
Yep.
And we just extended it another year because they're not ready to move forward with it. And the biggest piece here was, we told them they could only take it on if they connected in to the city, so that there was a second access for that neighborhood. So that we could lessen the load on Clementa. So yeah, I mean, as, 2028, when we're connected in with this wastewater plant, we have the capacity to grow more. And we're not just gonna willy-nilly just do what Montrose has done in the past of, oh, here's some land, let's put some houses there.
So there's no plan to leapfrog anything out 3/4 of a mile and build 1,200 houses somewhere?
No, our goal is to build up the city from kind of,
The south side of the road here between Apples, I mean, there's attainable properties, you got the east side over here, you've got the corner of 110, I mean, you guys can build over there. I mean, yeah, it's gonna cost money, because people own land and you gotta pay for it.
Yep.
But for you guys to let developers go and buy, let's say, land all the way out, Beatty Circle, and now we don't have the structure in place to be able to handle it.
I will say, though, a lot of that is already annexed into the city. So it may look like it's not connected, but if you actually look at what is already annexed into the city, there is quite a bit of other land, including farmland, that is annexed into the city and has been for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
So it may look like it's not in the city because it's not directly next to another development, but it is already pre-annexed in land.
So are you referring to K&R Farmland Holdings, who owns 346.5 acres, that's south of Apples? And,
They own from 25 over to 110, correct?
Yep, it's 340, because you had a meeting last year, I believe.
3 years ago.
About it. And in that sense, if you allowed them to build those developments there, you'd be, pretty much land hopping all over, what Herman Apple owns, and trying to find the landowner here. Are you gonna start at 12 and work south, or are you gonna jump halfway through
So as I was mayor during that time, so when that meeting happened, which was about 3 years ago, there was a developer that came in and they had a purchase agreement with the landowners on the corner of 110 and Highway 12. And they had asked to build 900 homes over 10 years from between Highway 12 and 80th Street. And if you go back and watch the video or read the minutes, that was rejected. And as was previously stated by Mayor Solars, that there is no capacity in the wastewater to do that. Not to mention the cost for, putting infrastructure out to those points, but.
But 2 years, you guys have got the nerve going the other way to Howard Lake and going up to Annandale. What's preventing you guys from having another meeting and greenlighting that?
I guess where all them cars go, right down Clementa, that you gave a shit about anything.
Right by your house.
Well, let's put the facts out there.
So does the city have when they get a building permit in the city, is there a street tax? Or something in the building eligibilities that you get, like you get assessment for sewer, water, whatever? Does the city have some kind of a street tax? And if not, why?
Assessment per house for road infrastructure updates?
Sack and whack.
Yeah, whack and sack fees.
Second one.
Yep, and every other city does it.
You do have that?
How much is it per?
put up to,
I haven't done building permits in a long time.
I wanna say it was up to like 75.
Like 37.
Back in 2016, when I purchased the farm from the corporation that my uncle and dad had, those lots across the road from me were selling for $5,000 a piece. And so somebody, LG Homes came in there and bought them all. And they had somebody come in and raise the iron and put in all the asphalt, so it was up to specs on the curb. But then all those houses went in, but no road got updated to handle the traffic that comes out of that. Where they should have been paying $15,000 a lot, because the city said, hey, you know, we're gonna add 80 homes back here, and how many cars, which direction are you gonna go when you come out that? So either they gotta pay now, because they didn't pay then, or the infrastructure to support the houses that are built back there. There's that too. Is there something you can apply for the loan from the county or something to be able to assess the houses, and you guys could pay that loan off over 15 years if you assess it to the houses that use the majority of that road?
Yeah, we're not gonna assess houses. We've already set that precedent that we're not gonna assess anyone on that.
Okay, so I mean, if there's no money, then what keeps them from locking the road off? I mean, you gotta pay for using the road or the infrastructure, don't you?
Well, I mean,
For free, you pay
so
$3,000 a year.
so are we gonna charge XL? Because they drive their trucks down there all the time. UPS, I see them going down there all the time too. I mean, it's a road.
Is it a part of the city that uses it? You
Part
can
of
run
it.
a line very easily of the houses that come out on that road and turn north.
But it's, I mean,
I
again, it's,
understand it affects your house too, Mayor, because you live back there.
yep, you're right, I do.
So, I mean, you
I'm not
bought a
denying that.
$400,000 house, another $10,000 on that house to build the road to get to your house.
Hey, I'm here to just try to come up with a solution. I mean, if it's to the point where you guys just want to block it off, so be it. Go ahead. I mean,
Nate didn't ask for the traffic to go in front of his house when he built his house there.
no,
Keith and Cliff, and now Garrett, didn't ask for the rumble strip, so they can't even run the manure spreader down the road to access their fields, because the dust caps come off the manure spreader, because they can't grade it 4 times a day. So I'm just saying, sometimes you have to do the right thing and make the people pay for the things that they need, correct?
Am I misunderstanding you, Mr. Mayor, or are you just saying your township, your shit out of luck?
well, I mean, again, we're here trying to have a conversation about this whole thing, but we've already set that precedence that we're not going to assess our residents on this.
And
Okay.
you shouldn't have sold the lots.
Well, again,
You shouldn't have built, I mean, you guys have to clean up the mess now.
I mean, those aren't, the city didn't own those lots. I mean, those were other people.
Kirby's telling me you guys got land annexed all over the place, so wherever you build the lots. Do you charge to build the roads in there when you have the developer do it now, right? So they come in with an engineered spec to build the roads for development, correct? And you have to make sure that you have access, so if you're gonna do the forest lake, they have to get out to the road, correct? So what they did was not sufficient, everything went bankrupt, we're talking 2008, and then people made money, built houses back there, but now we still don't have the infrastructure for the houses that were made. And I know you say you don't want to assess it, but that was the fault of the city at that point. Not saying it was you guys, but you needed to collect money on the sales of those houses. And then you say about XL, I understand that you've got revenue over here in this industrial park. Yes, those trucks turn out and go that way, so then, yeah, I would assess XL. It's a hard bullet to bite.
The ideal thing was when you guys started that industrial park, part of that park should have made access out to Highway 12, whether it's stoplight, roundabout, extra access, whatever.
That'd be a state thing.
And because that traffic's gonna go nowhere but more. And I can tell you firsthand, XL cuts down Clementa, almost every one of their trucks.
I know they do.
You know, and the reason is because they can't get onto Highway 12, or they sit there forever to do it.
I mean, that's a state thing. I mean,
Yeah,
I got no
I'm not
concern.
saying, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know, and I'm totally agree with you.
So I would suggest from now on, the city needs to figure out how to, any house being built from now on has just say a $5,000 street tax attached to the building entitlement or some number, because this is only gonna get worse. As traffic goes up, houses get more expensive, people are driving nicer cars, and that's why they're all of a sudden crying because, oh, my car got dusty. It's only gonna get worse. And if you don't cut it off now, and the problem is that unfortunately you inherited somebody else's problem that they overlooked.
Well, I've been chasing that tail for the past 5 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, this goes back for
Yeah.
10, 15 years. This
I know.
has been,
I'm well aware.
So who built all the homes out there in that development.
Which one?
Which one?
The last 80 homes that went in there.
Online, LG Homes.
LGI.
LGI.
And was it LGI?
Yep.
And they're still in business? And are they wanting to come to you guys and ask for building permits, or potentially will? I would hammer them.
They just said that they wanna build a new one on the north side.
I would say here, you're being assessed
They're
$15,000.
finishing off what they have.
Yeah,
you
they're
wanna-
finishing what they have
As
now.
far as, I'll just say it right now, as far as I'm concerned, they're not building another house in this city.
Yeah, that's not.
I'll say it.
I watched it.
And I'm only one of five, but I'm not, I don't wanna see another LGI build out
But
here.
any builder that comes through the door, I'd take past money and put it right back on them and say, we've got not only the roads you're going to build, we've got roads that we have been built that need updating, and you're gonna bear some of that cost. It might be a 30%, but you're not passing it on to your residents. You're passing it on to the guy that's, all he wants to do is make money. He's gonna make less money. He's either gonna wanna keep building houses and determine he's gonna wanna make less money. But there's other cities that do it. There's other cities, you look at City of Plymouth's budget, what they got millions of dollars coming out of their ears in permitting fees and city sewer and water hookups.
So
stuff like
let me
that.
ask this. What if we did, what was something like a cost sharing of the maintenance on that road look like to you guys? If we shared some of that cost?
This year with the dust control, the gravel they put down was $30,000. To operate the grader, find labor.
I mean,
put down that dust control.
The way I'm looking at this, I think we need to continue to pound that LRIP grant. We need to get something done there. And if we could work out some kind of agreement where we can, do some cost sharing on that to help you guys with that. I mean, obviously we don't want the road closed. I think that would be a detriment to everybody.
It'd be a detriment to emergency services too for you guys.
Yep. I mean,
We don't want that.
that's why we're here. And we can sit here and talk about what happened 15, 30, 75 years ago, but it's not going to get us to where we need to be. So, I mean, if you guys are open to that discussion as we continue to kind of pound out this LRIP and see if we can't get some pavement actually put down there.
So if I remember right, when we went through this a few years ago, wasn't that grant only gonna pay for like 50 to 80% of what the project would cost? Even if you got full funded? And if that's the case, well, I think if I remember right, the numbers they were talking back then was like 1.6 million. So if,
1.5 million.
okay, but this,
That would be with.
with soil corrections?
Full, everything and curb and gutter and all of it,
All the bells and whistles.
100% said and done.
Okay,
So I think the temporary solution that you're offering to pay some of the bill, that works. I also think that applying for the grants is the longer term solution. But also, if you guys add any more houses, anything, that would turn onto that road, Clementa, I think you guys, like Bruce Holmes's, no, it's not Bruce's anymore. Or the old Hunt place there, any of those places, you guys gotta, or if you go on the other side of Clementa, where Motters is, or any of those, you guys gotta assess something on those lots to bring that code up to spec. So if somebody's gonna sell a $400,000 house, you guys got $10,000 per lot, that'll raise enough revenue for you guys to build that road on. I think that's a long-term solution, that any future development, that you guys put that assessment on there. We can maintain, we can apply for grants, but I think you guys can get your money back out of it if you did that on the lots of any future developments. And those are prime places to develop there.
Yep.
From that four-way stop all the way up to where that is now. Especially if you get the road redone and you get the walking path in there. I mean, you're gonna have to invest a little bit of money now, but I think you guys could pull money back out of there and kind of pad your budget later and take that whole road over at that point.
Why are we so worried about a walking path?
It's because the state wants it.
Yeah, we're not even at that point where we're agreeing to a walking path at this point, so.
But if they're doing the road at the same time and you get the monies for it, you might as well do it all at once
Right.
at the same time.
Yep.
That's the point we need. It's like,
Exactly.
same thing on County Road 12 where they put that all along there. The state sets aside monies for walking paths and the cities and the counties take advantage of it.
So, Mr. Mayor, is Montrose working on the LRP grant for this year?
Spencer, we've talked about that.
We've been authorized. Yes, we've been authorized to pursue, or solicit, send in an application for LRP. So
And when is the deadline?
I do not know what the exact deadline is. I know it's going to be somewhere around in November. Last time I think we had to submit everything by sometime in December.
From what I understand, they haven't come out with their final dates yet, but yeah, it's usually mid to late fall.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a biennium or a yearly thing that we can apply for?
I don't think it's annual. It could be. I'd have to look into it further.
I think it's based on available funds that they have in there.
I think so.
So are we talking 50 million? Are we talking 80,000? What is the typical budget of this grant program? Does anybody know?
I think it's what the state puts into it.
Yep.
The whole state, then?
And the state's in a deficit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have a question for the Montrose portion of the city limits portion of Clementa. Is that slated to be replaced?
2027.
2027.
And the funds are there to do that at that time?
Yes.
That time, yes.
Yes.
Right now, no.
So what does that entail? Just laying some blacktop over it and calling it a day, like was done the first time?
Nope.
Reclaiming, full depth reclamation of the road. So they'd come in and grind the bituminous and underlaying aggregate base together. And then they'd take out a portion of that to make room for the new pavement, and then they'd pave it back.
So there would be no soil corrections or brought up to any kind of standard then? It's a repave basically? Yes.
It is, but there's a pretty significant base section under that road. So that's why we would proceed with it the way we would.
Well, it can't be that good of a base as
Well,
it is right now. I mean, that road was crap 5 years after it got done.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been maintained since.
If you guys reclaim it, it'll be back in the same, I think you should maybe have somebody reassess that, because I don't think it'll, when they got done with the box culvert where it goes from Pat Sloan's to the other side of the road, it actually sunk so much on each side of the box culvert, they had to come in and shave the pavement off, because it was a huge hump there. So I don't think, as much as Dewey built it, they didn't go deep enough in the soil correction. So I mean, even if you did go through and reclaim and put your pavement back down, unless it's concrete, it's gonna bust up again.
We can pursue some soil borings if council decides that that's the direction that they'd like to.
I just don't want you guys to throw good money after bad, because I mean, you lay down $1.5 million of asphalt, and you guys are 10 years down the road, and it's busted up to the point where Foco can't even go down the road with the blade down without hooking something.
Right.
So, Mr. Mayor, can we get back talking about a cost share between Montrose and Marysville? Because that's really probably the best, outcome we can look at for tonight.
Yeah, I think so too.
That is something our board would obviously have to make a decision on, along with your board.
Yep. So I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think that would look like?
Question.
Hmm?
When you talked about your, about 4 or 5 years ago, Montrose had delusions of grandeur about going all the way to 107. I didn't understand what you said about where you expect to go now. Because you got a school district out there that owns about, 80 acres an acre. And I suspect if they decide they're gonna build, then all your plans are out the window because you'll cater to them. And then you'll have the Howe place built up and the rest of the Galvin place. So you're telling me that your increases are going to the south, or they're going to the north, or are they going to Apples, or do you have any idea?
Are you talking about housing? You're talking about housing? I think there's some pockets in town still that need to be filled out first.
In town?
Yep.
Okay, and are you holding for those to be filled before you go more?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what we talked about is when I came into town and just looking at it all.
Anything about building on that corner?
Nothing that I've heard of. I don't foresee anything happening with that school district for a while at least. So,
I'm good with having a discussion on the cost sharing at a later time. I'm gonna throw out a Hail Mary to the county again. What's gonna make it worth your while
yeah.
to have that road? No, because I know that they've got their eyes on a piece of property out there in Montrose that I feel like would garner a reason to take over that road.
I would have to talk with the highway engineer and administration, and we would have to get back to you on that.
To service District 5, you guys are looking to get rid of Waverly's. You already built a new one up in Maple Lake. I would suggest you guys go out to Litchfield. There is a highway department building that's built right by the Walmart that the state, the city, and the county share for all their plow trucks and a bunch of their service stuff. So you could have a cost sharing agreement there. You guys wouldn't have to build any new sheds or anything down by the sewer plant. You could park all your trucks in this new shed on that development and probably talk them into joining with you. And if you can get the state in there too, they'd probably be happy. Because they got so many big state highways right here, Highway 12 and 25 that they got. I think that's an avenue you guys should maybe look at. And definitely go check that building out, because I think they park almost 45 trucks in that building. And I think almost half of them are plow trucks, between the city, the state, and the county. I think that's a pretty good solution for that corner. I know it doesn't bring any revenue into this city, but
It's worth it if they take over that
you know,
road.
and you guys cost share, but I mean, they figured it out there. I think you guys can figure it out here.
And I think it'd be really dumb if we didn't ask that question.
Yes.
Oh, I see we all agree on something.
So is it something that we need to talk to the county commissioners about as a joint effort between Montrose and Marysville?
I can bring it up with Assistant Administrator Mattice and Chad Houseman at the Highway Department, and I can let you know what they are thinking.
Just to keep in mind, if they do turn that Clement into, say, a county road, the death trap that they never corrected the last go-around of that hill there, someone will get killed there in a matter of a week's time.
When they took 5 feet off and they should have took 20 feet off.
They took about 6 inches off.
Yeah.
And,
You know what you're talking about on 107, Kirby, when you come to the end of Clement there and go to take a right, and you gotta wait for a 10 count to make sure there's no car in the divot there? Yeah.
And same on 107, just west of Emerson. They didn't do it correctly there, but they spent a lot of money.
Virgil said in a meeting that neither one of them spots did not meet Minnesota road standards, and they knew that before they started. So I asked in a meeting, how do you get funding for a job on a county road when it doesn't meet standards? And one of the commissioners asked me to change my tune, or I was gonna have to leave. And you know who that was Derek Batch.
So you will talk with Mark,
Chad.
Chad, and then you'll let Montrose know, you'll let us know.
Yeah, I can let both of you
Because
know.
we could do a meeting with you guys. I'm assuming Montrose is willing, I'm assuming Marysville is willing to do.
Yes, for sure.
So in the two next meetings, Montrose and Marysville, you guys are gonna come to an agreement somewhere?
I think we need to move forward at least right now with the cost sharing. I don't disagree with that.
Okay, so that the next meeting, you guys will have something drafted up in the next one?
Yeah, if you guys wanna send us, proposals, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, that's what I would say. So we'll have to sit down with our numbers and figure out roughly what it's been costing and what we think is a fair, and then is it safe to say we'll have to figure out a meeting and come back and have another meeting here again and talk about it?
Yeah, I think that's
Fine.
safe to say.
I feel like we should invite the county for that too.
Yeah,
I think
and
we should
maybe
invite
get
the
some
county.
commissioners here. And I was just gonna ask the dumb question of, so when they built that building in Maple Lake, the county garage, they said it didn't cost the taxpayer any money? Is it true that they took the money that normally came from the sales tax and they put that into the roads and used the normal road money to build that building?
I guess I'd have to ask, because that was all approved in the world.
You better kill that.
What was that?
Kirby, we're switching spots.
That's a bee.
Bee or hornet. It's fine, I saved the day again.
Nicely done.
You're good.
Supposedly, that's what the county did.
Oh, we're gonna have to clean the
And
floor.
if that's the case, the same thing could be if they're gonna build a new county garage. They
Well, I
could
know
use
that
the same scenario.
it's been being planned out for the one that's going to replace the Waverly shop, wherever that ends up being, that is being planned out for the next, 2 years, it's not in levy, and then 2 years in levy to budget that out, so.
Okay, and the second one, if you wanna use leverage, the county does not have any town, or county roads from 9 after 110. There's nothing, it's all state roads until you get all the way to Delano down to County Road 14. So when they're trying to say that them roads are too close together, not for county roads, might be for tar roads, but not county roads. And if you follow County Road 110 south, that is a major artery going to 7.
And it's not a dead end.
And it's not a dead,
You come into end at 110, it's just continuing on 110. It's not a big new road, it's just continuing on 110. Yeah.
but that's something that you need to tell the commissioners that they're looking at with tunnel vision, not future vision.
It's my only ask is if you watch politics enough, everybody does it can't be done, next item. And nobody ever asks the questions that should be asked. How do we do it? Instead of saying it can't be, how do we accomplish this? Like, we pulled every string that we could at the township without deciding, okay, our last option is to make it a dead end. That would have forced other people to make other decisions. I won't say it was a goal, but it brought us here today. If we made that a dead end, there'd be a lot of pissed off people. There would be not just county people, and it's not a Montrose Marysville thing. It would have been, well, so-and-so was trying to cut through and they need it and they couldn't. Now what? Now you got Google Earth and you got all the mapping and they got to redraw it. Like, it's monumental. It forces people to act, and there's certain people that do that and do it well, and a lot of people don't agree with them, but the settling for, well, that's just the way it is in politics that's what everybody does. They get in a seat and I'm comfortable now. In order to maintain the seat, I'm gonna ride less waves. We got our asses chewed at our last meeting. It was horrible. It was the worst meeting I've ever been at. And it was for a decision. I didn't sleep for 2 days. It was for a decision we were forced to make because nobody else wanted to help out. And we've been asking for help I've been there 5 years. And the meeting the year before, Nate came to it with a large complaint of the gravel. And that road has it is now over 30 feet. Our normal township road is 18 feet. That's shoulder to shoulder. It's 32 feet in most spots, Clementa. That road got that big from all the gravel that we hauled. So
Not just the gravel, the immense traffic. Driving 60 miles an hour.
So I don't want to go on a big diatribe of but when we sit in a meeting, Kirby, and you say, well, there's nothing we can do. There's always something you can do. You can always grab that extra gear and say, no.
I don't think I said that, by the way. I said that the county doesn't have an interest in making it a county road. I didn't say there's nothing we could do.
What can we do to open the county's eyes about that road? What can we as a group do?
Well, I'll bring what was asked to the people that I need to, and then, when there is another meeting, that we'll have other people here from the highway, and we'll keep the conversation going.
Would you know that if you guys applied for the grant and township applied for the grant, but then the county decided they want to take it over, does that grant money not go if we could hand that to the county to help with their budget if they did take the road over?
Well, the county on the other side of that, so another note that I had made too is that over the next year, there's going to be some meetings about future planning and long-range planning for roads. and hoping to have that finalized in 2027 for approval. That deals with transportation, planning and zoning, parks and trails, and part of that in the long-range planning is roads to be turned up to the county or to be turned down to the local entity. And one of the requirements in there is the roads need to be up to CASA standards prior to county taking them over, to not take on the bill of purchasing the right-of-way and totally reclaiming a road. So, and that's not just unique to this situation, that's unique to roads in Cokato Township that we've been contacted about, several roads in Franklin Township that have been asked about, so it's not unique to just this. It's for any road to be taken, that it needs to be on the long-term, the long-range plan for transportation, and at the time that it's taken over is brought up to those standards.
So,
You know, that's not possible.
more or less what you're saying
That's just
is,
for kicking it down the road.
yeah,
I mean,
more,
you're forcing these people to close it off.
more or less what he's saying is that unless we put it up to county standards, this county has.
Well, then we don't need anybody else.
It would just have to look like 110 across the road.
So,
Again, that's not unique to this situation, because as I said, every township could come to me with 3 or 4 roads that they want the county to take over. And then that's no longer, that's not just money out of the loss fund to maintain those roads. That's plow routes, that's additional drivers, that is your tax money then at the county level going up to maintain all of those roads. So it's not just the immediate, what does it take to get the road to that? It's what does it do afterwards? And that's why.
Saying the same thing Andy said. You're kicking it down the road, and you're gonna force these people to close the damn road.
So Kirby, let me ask you a dumb question, but most of the roads that the county's fixing or rebuilding all has to do with extra buildings, extra houses, extra everything. So therefore, isn't the county getting a way more extra revenue off all these houses?
In what instance? Because County
property
Road
tax?
8, County Road 6, those roads, they're redone. That's not because of, it was just their time to be taken care of and to be redone. The only other road that's being massively changed is 39, I want to say, and don't quote me on it, up in Albertville, that a roundabout is being put in because Costco is going in up there.
Oh, yeah, on the north side of the interstate.
Yep.
Yep.
So,
So is Costco paying for the roundabout?
no, they're not. Just like no other business would pay for it.
But that's what I'm going with, that's what I'm
No,
saying.
they won't. Just like if you have, if,
Have you asked? Did you ask them? Did you sit down and say, we won't approve this unless you guys cover the cost of the roundabout?
and they will get up and walk away.
And they'll move to Monticello.
Yeah.
But what I'm
Because
getting
they
at
already
is
got one in
that's,
Maple Grove. That was my question when I drove by there the other day. I understand that, you know, people want to have the businesses in there, but, you know, why does a corporation get to make money and not have to maintain the road?
They have to pay their taxes.
They will pay the tax.
They have a corporate tax they have to pay, and
So
there's
maybe the
no.
county needs to pass a law that if they build a building over X size and all the trucks that are gonna come off the interstate through that roundabout, you gotta pay a special assessment for the road. We gotta figure out ways to pay for stuff if we're not gonna charge people.
I think we're getting a little off
Yeah,
track here.
anyways.
Yeah, let's dial this back here.
Medium-term and
Yep.
long-term. Short-term,
Yep.
you guys gotta agree to come to agreement to maintain.
Yeah, we'll have that discussion.
So, Mr. Mayor, when does Montrose meet?
Our next one is September 8th.
September 8th?
Yep.
And we don't meet again until the end of September, so I don't know if the board wants to do a special meeting just to discuss a cost sharing. Or we want to wait till the end of September. Or if we want to have a special meeting to discuss a cost sharing and possible.
With you guys
with
entertain
LRIP.
back paying.
so that's what I would say, we should have a special meeting.
Probably not.
Incorporate it, maybe
Probably
with
not.
interviews.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not gonna.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
No.
so, okay.
You have no desire to.
I mean,
pay us for
we're pretty strapped right now as it is.
We all are.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we're all trying to do the same thing here.
Right, so is there a chance that in the future you'll reimburse us some towards the past?
when you win the lottery.
Once we get some Wright County money.
So both entities are gonna apply for the grants again that we talked about, correct?
We do not have any motions on the table for that. We have to have a meeting to
Yep.
discuss that.
Yep, but I'm just
And
saying,
figure
in
that
this
out.
meeting, that we could set that on the agenda, that we're gonna, well, if you apply for the money, this is just short term, you have to put things in place.
If you don't try, you don't know.
Well, you're not gonna guarantee to get the money, it's otherwise we're paying out of our pocket and get no money.
We could sit on our hands and not do anything, but if,
Yeah, I mean,
we're trying to get the money
If
here.
we all apply for the same money on that road, there's a better chance for the smaller entities to possibly get the money for it.
Yep,
So getting some money is better than no money, right?
correct.
Yeah, but what happens when it's $1 million and they only give you 500,000?
Great.
You still gotta come up with 500,000 and it's not.
It's better than coming up with $1 million.
150,000 in the last 5 years maintaining the road.
It's a lot more than 500,000 in 1 year.
Yeah, but then it's done. Right?
Is it done or is it just a kicking in?
I use that road, not Polenta.
Which one?
Kevin.
How-
You spent
Oh, come off it.
$150,000.
Oh, no.
Okay, so I think we've got kind of a path forward here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else anyone wants to bring up?
So you guys aren't open, if I'm hearing it right, we're gonna agree to maintain the road short term, but nothing beyond that right now.
Correct.
We don't wanna jointly file, we don't wanna do anything to possibly get any grant money to do the road.
Well, they have to have their meeting
we have
on
to
that.
So we
discuss that
put
with
in the
our road
agenda to put that in
engineer.
a meeting, correct?
Hmm?
Alright.
Yeah.
And then
We're applying for
We
it.
we're applying.
going forward, you guys have already applied for it.
Mhm.
And then any future developments on that road, I'm hoping that you guys can put in the agenda that they will be assessed to be able to raise.
When that time comes,
Yes, we'll have
we,
that
no,
discussion.
honestly, but when that time comes, absolutely.
So in your next meeting, you could actually put that in place so that when those places do sell and the developers do come in, you already have it in place, so they already know that that's an assessment that.
I mean, we'd have to probably look at the EDA first.
Because I know that those properties are already annexed into the city of Montrose, so you can put rulings on them that if they move forward with development.
Yep, and I'll just be completely honest, I mean, we're not gonna approve any development coming in until probably the end of 27 at the earliest.
Sure.
So, I'm just saying, absolutely, you're right, but I'm saying, we're not gonna approve any developer saying, hey, I want this for future. We're not even acknowledging that right now, because we can't.
I don't want you to acknowledge it,
Yeah.
I want you to put it in place so that when the developer comes in, it's already in a.
And we have, and yes, we'll talk about that, because it's gotta go through EDA first.
Yeah.
Then we'll go bring it to council, and yeah, we'll have an EDA meeting, we'll put that together, and
Because then you're just paying
Discuss
for
that.
making the houses that are gonna end up going on that road. To
I
pay
hear
everything
you.
up, and you might be able to get enough revenue to bring it up to county standards and then get rid of it.
well, then I want reimbursement from the county.
How many open lots are, still there where LGI is?
This is the last project out there,
I think
correct?
the western
Yeah.
part is done now, correct?
All of the stuff on Clementa is done.
Yeah.
Yeah. They finished the last
There's no-
townhome in the Deer Run on the north side by Nate's property, or Nate's dad's property there,
Right.
just this last year.
Yep.
So I think every lot is built on the west side.
Yeah, there's no more open lots.
I don't know on the east side, the mayor's over there.
There's no open lots.
There's no open lots over there yet.
Private community out there.
Is there options for it's kind of a issue one is, a possible solution would be you could, restrict the weight limit. That might cut out the big rigs, using it as a cut across. You could, the speed limits there, no through traffic signs, stuff like that. That would possibly, the problem is Wright County's gotta enforce it. We can't enforce it, but
How does that work with the county cops? Cause I mean, they're posted on 12, they're
But if
posted, why
you're-
can't they post on Clementa and catch people doing 30 over coming up?
we don't, we.
Oh, they do.
We don't contract with Wright County to patrol our, you do, you could possibly say, hey,
They're on Clementa a lot.
we got people using it as a through
Wright
road, we got
County.
people using it as a heavy
They
haul
They
road.
drive through, but they don't post and get traffic speeding
No,
tickets there.
they post. It's south of the gravel part, but they do post there.
But that would, even if you had the signs, that might cut out the through road. We could reach out to maybe Google Maps and say, hey, this isn't your shortest road. It's not a viable. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm just throwing shit out of the wall and seeing what sticks. So, but even if you took 30 vehicles off that road a day, times 365 days, that's a lot of vehicles. That's what, 9,000 vehicles? You take off that road, that's 4 tires, if not more, potentially. All you do is put up a couple signs and maybe ask Wright County to.
I mean, people don't even pay attention to the speed limit signs, so,
Yeah.
I mean,
When you see them on Clementa and Montrose sign, it's half the signs are behind the brush.
I don't think they use a stop sign on 107, I can tell you that. I can tell you from personal experience of giving kids rides to the hockey rink. One of the kids lives over in your neighborhood that I used to give a ride to. Coming back from Buffalo, it does not acknowledge your dirt road. It took me all the way through Montrose down First. Now that's Waze, it's not Google. I think they might own them now, but.
Yeah.
I know the shortest route would be to go down that dirt road. I've been down that road. I don't want to always use that road because it is not the best route. So I would go down to First. It's a little longer, but it never acknowledged it unless I went that way, and then it finally would kick in that it was an actual road.
I mean, Google still saw that access road as a way to get into Forest Creek up till about a year ago. And I mean, it's never been a road. So.
Yeah, I'm just, there's small money could be spent to do a little bit more to decrease the traffic before we start jumping in and just throwing money at it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not discounting any of that either,
Pinch
but.
the Domino's guy he has no business with a 53 footer on a road that he probably isn't gonna make weight on.
Yep.
During road restrictions. Give him the book. Wright County gets a little revenue out of it, and the next time corporate says no more Domino's trucks on Clementa or on unauthorized roads. Certain people will take notice, other people won't, but
Let's just put a toll booth up there.
that's the other thing.
I thought about it today.
Yeah.
Have you ever, it's 169 yards roughly from the east end of Breckenridge connecting to Aspen. Have you ever proposed to Gary Brummer to buy that 169 yards and connect the 2 streets? Now you have an egress that you always had an egress?
As far as I know, there hasn't been any discussion on that.
Kirby, do you have anything on that? Because you were on that.
The only conversation about that road was any new developer that comes in, they need to finish that road before they can build out there. They need to create the exit from that development to the other one. That's the only recollection I have of that.
Yeah, and even at that point, I don't know how cost effective that would be for put on the city.
Kirby, wasn't that 169 yards like more than this Clementa paving?
Yeah.
Because of the culvert and stuff.
Yeah, the culvert totally needs to be replaced.
We were talking not from
Breckenridge
Breckenridge to Aspen, no. That's the other side, that's on the Creekside Hollow where they have to create a bridge crossing over the creek. That one's the asinine amount.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, there you got an egress, 169 yards. There's your people going straight to 12.
Yeah, what cost to the city?
The ones that are in the Forest Creek, the ones that are in LGI are still going to take Clementa.
Yeah.
Maybe, but you're cutting down everybody in Forest Creek.
Not
You might
everybody.
get somebody.
Not everybody.
Some of them who are closer to Clementa are still gonna take Clementa.
Yeah.
So it'd be silly to take the city street all the way through.
I would imagine it'd be from Cole down to the.
Yeah, probably.
But I don't know. Seems like a option.
All right, well, if we have nothing else, we will,
You have your plan?
Yep.
Sounds like we have a plan that we'll work on.
We'll circle back.
Middle somewhere and figure out a time.
Yep. Okay. All right, well, thanks everyone for coming, and I see a good turnout here and good discussion. So, thank you.
After